Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Mia and today I'm back with yet again a different video. I was going to make it a get ready with me while I was chatting, but I just feel like I need to concentrate with this video, and me doing my brows and applying my bronzer, I'm rubbish at multitasking. Multitasking is not really my thing, so I feel like it's, something that's best just will keep it basic for myself. So today I'm coming to you with a girly chatty video. So I put on my Instagram, I want to hear your tea, I want to hear your sticky situations, what advice do you want to hear, because I gave some advice about breakups and relationships on my other video and I got like a few messages and they were like, oh, you like sorted me out with that advice. And I ain't no therapist, let me tell you that, but I will say it how it is and I'm quite to the point. So what we'll do is we'll get straight into the video and I'm going to start with the first question. Okay, so the first one that I'm going to go for is how to get over someone cheating on you. I think it's not getting over it, because personally I don't think you'll ever get over it, because it's something, unfortunately, like, you can't get over it. You can move on from it. You know, there's loads of people that have been in relationships and they've been cheated on and they've moved on from it. People make mistakes, sometimes it can be a minute too late when they then realise, what have I done? I personally don't condone cheating. I really dislike it and it infuriates me. And I hate when anyone says, I was so drunk. Like, if your lips aren't paralysed and they know how to work, up here does too, so don't hit me with that one. That is just my personal kind of thing. But you would just have to create a trust again with that person, and communication would have to be key. And if I'm honest, if they've cheated on you, I actually personally don't think it would be bad if you set standards for things like nights out and things, if it happened like that, and you be like, well, you should message me or things like that, because boys are criminal for nights out and not messaging. Because if they want you to trust them again, then they need to show you that they're willing to put their half in as well. But it's tough, and girl, I'm so sorry you had to go through it. So that is the first question. Like I said, we're going to go deep. What's the point in not? Like I said, I wasn't expecting the responses that I did get from this. So the second sticky situation is, I am so in love with this boy and we've been a thing for years but never made it official. So you need to suss out why you've never made it official and whether you need to make it official. If you're fine just doing it how you are, then that's absolutely fine. I personally would say, and I know it sounds really bad, and I never say play the game and don't play games in relationships, I really don't advise that, but sometimes you have to make them aware that you're not scared to go and you're not scared to leave. So, you know, like, oh, he probably thinks he's got you where he wants to if he's not made it official, but he is sat on the fact that you're not official, and he's probably getting just as much as if you were official. So if you were to back off a little bit and showing that you're an independent woman, you need absolutely no one, then he would probably be like, oh, what? Like, really? You're not actually here when I want you? And you're like, no, I'm off doing my own thing. And that, ladies, is actually really attractive for a guy. If you're an independent woman who doesn't need them, doesn't rely on them, they actually find it really attractive, because they're like, ooh, you know that song, it's like, that's why I love her. Basically, you need to listen to that song with your earphones in and just think to yourself. Also, I've been reading a book, Why Men Love Bitches, and you, everyone here who's watching this, go and get yourself that book, because I'll give you advice, but whoever wrote that book, she knows so much about the male species. Advice you would give yourself back at school. I like this question. High school was different. I was in a massive school group and a massive girl group within school, and we were probably the biggest girl group within the year. I think there was quite a few big girl groups anyway, but we were definitely the biggest, literally like 10 of us, 11 of us. And there was never really fallouts, to be fair. There was like a fallout between one or two of us, but there was never mega fallouts. But one thing I would say is, like, just enjoy it. And also, if girls are nasty to you and they don't like you and you don't like them, don't be friends with them. Because one thing that was difficult at school is if you didn't like someone and they were in your group or they were like, you know, in your year, if you don't like them, do not give them your time and effort, and do not waste anything. No one can tell you who to be friends with. Put more energy into your friends that you know are going to be there for you when you leave school. Like, I literally cannot stress that enough. If that person's bringing you absolutely nothing and nothing to the table, don't be friends with them. And you won't have time in day-to-day life to see all 59 friends you've got anyway. So that is one thing that I would say. You meet loads of people after leaving school. I think when you're in school you think that they are the only people and the only friends you'll ever meet, and that's really not the case. Whoa, that one got deep. But yeah, that's the advice I'd give myself. In regards to like lessons and stuff like that, I was never really naughty. I was like, wasn't a try hard. Like, I probably had the right balance there. I just wish I had a few more brain cells to of getting me better grades. So, okay, right. My friends are being shit. What do I do? Okay. Your friends are being shit. Okay, I don't know what they're being shit about. Okay, back to, if they're bringing nothing to the friendship, then you just have to walk away and leave them, unfortunately. They will make new friends, you will make new friends. If it's not meant to be, there's literally no point stressing. You wouldn't be in a relationship you're really unhappy with. So don't be in a friendship you're really unhappy with. You have to treat your friends like relationships sometimes, and communication is massive. If you've got an issue with your friend or if they're being shit, then you need to speak to them about it, because sometimes people don't know if they're being shit, sometimes they don't mean to, or maybe they've got things going on. So you just communicate, definitely. And then obviously if nothing works from the communication and you don't feel like you've got enough from that conversation, then just leave it. And you'll probably be like, I've lost a friend then. But you'll probably feel like a weight's been lifted off your shoulder if they're making you feel shit. That is one thing I would say. Okay. Next one is when you fancy someone you shouldn't. We've all been there, let's be real. We've all been there, girl. Like, I don't think you realise how many people will have been there. And it's one of those things. I don't know why you shouldn't fancy them. If it's your friend's brother or something, definitely do not go there. Definitely don't go there. I've got another question actually, and it's like, I fancy my ex's mate. Now that is dangerous territory. And I think obviously that goes into the like when you fancy someone you shouldn't, because you shouldn't fancy your ex's friends. I personally don't think that's good. I don't think you should ever go to an ex's friend. It's like double dipping. Do you know what I mean? It's prohibited in my house. If you double dip at the dinner table, like off your pop, you might as well take your dinner upstairs and sit on your own. Like, it's really not allowed here. So, well, all I'm going to say is boys like to be one up on you all. So tell your best mate that she'll be expecting a text within the next 24 hours. And also, ladies, come on. There is like literally millions and billions of males out there, and you want to be with your ex's best mate or friend. But if you want to do it, you have to take the risk. If you think you're going to be in love with that guy and you're going to marry him and just have like a life with him, then if it's a risk you think is worth taking, then take that risk. Okay, the next bit of advice is how to deal with nasty comments from girls. I would say I probably haven't been in this situation since high school. I'm sure people have a lot to say about me behind my back, but it never gets to me. In regards to like high school and stuff like that, it's really tough. Like, if someone slags you off or if someone makes a nasty comment to your face, it's horrible. If you're dealing with like quite a lot of it, one thing I would say, and I would say it's about bullying as well, is do not rise to it. Like, do not rise to it. If you're getting picked on, the chances are they're thriving off your reaction. So if you just sit there and like, okay, your point is, are you finished? They'll be like, oh, because you're giving them nothing to argue back with. So they'll make a comment like, oh, you're really ugly, Mia. And I'll be like, they can't then go, yeah, like, what are they going to say to it? They can't. So silence is the best treatment for it. And obviously speak to friends about it, like your actual friends. And also, if you've got true friends, they'll probably take you out of the situation and just walk away with you and things like that. So definitely speak to people about it, because that's quite important as well. Okay, my ex's new girlfriend messages me all the time and comments on my Instagram posts. I don't know her. What a weirdo. If that person's new girlfriend is so obsessed with you, there is an insecurity there. Because if you're happy within a relationship, all your focus is on him or on her, and it should be nowhere near someone's past, because everyone has a past. And if you're going to sit in a relationship trying to talk about like the exes and stuff, it's weird. You don't do it. And I'm telling you now, you will be probably the topic of conversation at a dinner table or not. So just sit back and observe. Yeah, I think that's really strange. And also, if you're not over him, or if you are over him, you don't want to be involved in it, because you're going to end up moving on. He has, so you're going to end up moving on. Everyone deals with breakups differently, but cutting them out and not seeing what they're doing, not having to hear what they're doing, not having to see who they're with and things like that, not having to see his new, obviously who he's speaking to and who he's seeing, you don't need to see it, as they don't need to see what you're doing. So I would definitely say remove her from all social media. Don't let her have the comfort of trying to be your mate, because I'm sure you've got enough mates. You don't need your ex's new girlfriend as a pal. Right, I was with a boy and he got in a new relationship after we broke up. She then posted a happy 6 months post and we split up 4 months ago. That is horrid. Oh, girl, I feel for you with that one. That's really horrible. Oh my God, it was the same girl who's been messaging her. Yeah, you definitely need to cut them both out, because what you're going to do now is you're going to be thinking, he cheated on me. You're probably going to be looking for an explanation. And oh my God, boys ain't shit. Girls, I'm going to tell you right here, we are all independent women, like, and as are they. They'll go out with their mates on a Saturday, go out with your mates on a Saturday. Like, if they want to go on a boys' holiday for 10 days, fuck it, book one for 2 weeks. And you've got to think, like, you know when you see on Facebook, Margaret, age 97, what advice do you give to the younger generation? Behave. No, Margaret. Polly, age 98 years old, giving me advice saying, see who you want. Boyfriends ain't shit. That is the energy we need from Polly. Do you really want to be sat, when someone asks you to put on your whiteboard on the Facebook, with your whiteboard, do you really want to be sat there saying, I regret being with that boyfriend for so long? No. So you ain't ever going to look as cute as you are right now. You are never going to be thriving as much as you are, and you're probably going to have a lot more overheads and payments to make within the years coming for you. So literally live your life. But definitely, sometimes walking away is actually the best thing for you. But get her on your block list. Like, if you're watching this, please go off the video, put her on your block list and then come back. I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, but how do you find the stretch to end something when you love someone but they're probably not making you as happy as you could be? I think it's tough. I think it's good that you've realised that, and you've realised that he's probably not making you as happy as you could be, whether that's with someone else or whether that's just on your own. Again, going back to you can be on your own. There's two different things. There's loving someone and then there's being in love with someone. So you'll always love that person, but if you're not in love with them, in a sense that, I don't know, you don't really get like giddy when you see them or loads of different things, then sometimes you actually have to walk away. And also, I am such a strong believer in everything happens for a reason. Like, everything happens for a reason. You might not know the reason, and you might not know for whether that's weeks, years, decades. That's quite a long time. But I literally couldn't believe in anything more than everything happens for a reason. And I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't had failures, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. Also, I just want to put this out into the world. You are a bad bitch, right? You are. Okay, and next one. Your biggest ick story. Oh my god. I don't know where to start. I know I said that on my last one, but honestly, girls, I know I get the ick about everything. And if you're new here, I have an ick disorder, so just want to introduce myself as the ick disorder. Nice to meet you. I am a walking ick. Everyone gives me the ick. Anything can happen and I get the ick. So, my worst ick story. Okay, so I'd matched with this guy on Tinder. I'm sure all of like my icks come from Tinder somewhere. Tinder is just, I've removed it because I can't cope. Like, the species that they have on that app, I've got absolutely no explanation. But there's this guy and he was really good looking, and like he looked like a bit of a bad boy, and I was like, because who doesn't like a bad boy who breaks the heart? That's why we're all sat here. That's literally why we're all sat here listening to advice. But yeah, so I like matched with him and he messaged me a shit pickup line, which they all do, so it's kind of just the norm. Anyway, we chatted and then he was like, oh, follow me on Instagram. So I was like, all right, cool. So followed him and he was private and he accepted. That guy had chinos in every colour, like every colour. Green, salmon, pink, yellow, yellow chinos. Yes, we're talking about yellow chinos. Now, I don't know if at this point it's got to the point where I'm choosing the wrong people, or these are literally like the only people that are left in the world for me. Yellow chinos. So I just thought, oh no. So that was a massive ick, like that was quite traumatic. And that was like really recent. How do you not care what people think? That is a good question. It's different because if you're in high school, I cared what people thought. Everyone's got to start somewhere. You obviously go through the like, not embarrassing stage, but like me, I'm doing YouTube. I've got 67 subscribers. People are probably looking at her thinking, what is she doing with her life? She's nearly the age of 20 and she's starting YouTube. Yeah, and what? And what? Like, I don't care. Because, you know, the people that they get their fashion inspiration from and like sit and watch YouTube on an evening with like 700 million followers, they're not embarrassed about them, but they want started somewhere. So I really don't care what people think, because I just think that life is actually too short to care. And honestly, my mindset's totally changed since this pandemic, because before I cared what people thought. I was quite introvert with like, I would not wear something because I would be worried about what other people thought. But now I'm like, actually, if you don't like what you see, there's the door. I think buy that outfit. I mean, if you're talking yellow chinos, please don't buy the outfit. Post what you want. If you want to post in a bra and pants, and what? Go for it. If that's going to make you feel good. If you want to do an OnlyFans, go for it. Your bank's going to look better for it. Just think about that. You know that song on TikTok and it's like, oh God, what is it? Go get that degree, girl, yeah. Focus on me. Unlock potential that you didn't know you had it. You got it, you got it. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think the singing career is going to be for me, is it? Let's just be honest. Okay, the next kind of advice bit is, what do you think of girl code? Do you think it is a thing? they're two very different questions. I don't think girl code is a thing. I don't think girls have girl code anymore. I personally do. I don't think girls do anymore. I think girls will do anything for anyone, in a sense that if they want something, girls are very happy to go out and get it. I personally have quite high girl code and standards. If someone's got a boyfriend, it's a no-go. I will never even, like, why would you do that? Friends, I would never step on friends' toes. If someone, this is where I find it difficult, because if a boy messages me and has a girlfriend, I find it really horrible, because if that girl doesn't know me or doesn't like me, or I find it tough telling them, because I'm like, it's not my place to say. It definitely is, but I never reply. I think if it was me, I would definitely want to know. So then obviously I do tell them. The amount of boys that I see on Tinder that have girlfriends makes me want to be sick. I've always had girl code, and I've had a lot of arguments with people, because sometimes you expect people to have the same kind of qualities and the same standards as you, but that's not very often the case. So I'll expect someone to respect me in a certain way, in my relationship in a certain way, but they don't. Yeah, like, they don't do it, and then I'm like, well, I wouldn't do that, but you've just done that, so thanks a lot, Rachel. Thanks a lot. It's so easy to want to bite back and do things like that, but honestly, it's just easier not to. It's not worth the ag, ladies and gents. Not worth. I'll tell you that right now. Right. I'm in a really long distance relationship. It's been going on for 2 years now, and I've got to the point where I don't think this is going to work. What do I do? I personally think that's quite reasonable. I wouldn't be able to do long distance. I'm quite a person where, like, if I want to see you, it'll probably be like last minute. I couldn't do long distance, so hats off to you. You've been doing it for 2 years. I honestly just think, be honest. I think long distance is a lot more common than I realised, because I personally don't have a lot of friends that are in long distance and things like that. But if it's not working, it's not working. It's just like a normal relationship. If it's not working, it's not working. But definitely have the conversation with them and see if there's anything you can do about maybe seeing each other more. Again, it's difficult with what the current situation is. I've spoken with a lot of people that I know about in relationships, and they're like, oh, it's just tough. The spark's not really there at the moment. And I'm like, spark ain't going to be there, because you're going on a walk up mountains for your social distance walk. Like, it's just, you've got nothing to talk about. You've got nowhere to go on dates. You've got, do you know what I mean? Nowhere to, sorry mom, but you haven't. So it's tough. Like, it is really tough. So that's also why, like, I'm single, because there's actually nothing to talk about. Like, even when people message me on Tinder, I'm like, I think it's probably more the fact I actually don't know how to speak to boys. Like, I am the most awkward person you'll ever meet. They'll be like, hi, you're right, you're really good looking, and I'll be like, hi? Like, I won't know what to say. Like, honestly, it's really kind of embarrassing, to be fair. What do you think about girls making the first move? Go for it. All for it. I actually couldn't be any more for it. I make the first move sometimes. If I fancy someone, I'm going to tell them I really, well, I obviously play it a bit smooth, like, fancy you. Really fancy you, mate. Absolutely, make your first move. Do it on the sly. Don't message him like a massive paragraph like, I think you're really good looking, I want to have your children, because he'll probably run a mile. But if you want my top tips on how to get in there, boys, if you're watching, literally swipe, go away, leave it. The quick swipe up on Instagram, react to one of their stories by accident, and then be like, oh my god, that seems so embarrassing, so sorry, I didn't mean to do that, and then hope that he does a nice reply. If he just puts okay, be like, well, that didn't work. Maybe try something else. But I'm telling you, that one's never really failed me. But don't take advice from me, because actually I'm shit at talking to boys. Oh, so don't take any advice from me. But definitely shoot your shot. Definitely shoot your shot. Thank you so much for watching. I am going to be doing more videos like this. I really enjoyed that. If you like the advice, please do go and comment. if you want to see more videos like this and like more advice videos, because it was quite deep. And I just want to say to all the girls who got involved there, and to any of you watching this in situations, you are independent women, you're bad and you need no man. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You need absolutely no man, and you want to make stories and memories that you'll be telling your kids when you're like 60 about, and they'll be like, oh my god, you were such a cool mom. That's what you want to do, rather than saying you were hung up on a boy you never speak to anymore. So just remember that, take that advice, ladies, and I will be back very soon with another video. Bye.